Hey traders, welcome back. Today is Sunday evening. It's March the 6th, 2022. Um, and no, hell has not frozen over. We have been talking about rolling out a live, standalone, dedicated scalping program in our trading room forever. I can't even remember how long we've been talking about. Ton of logistic issues, some legal issues with using the software that I use to track order flow and price action. I don't have a commercial use license with that software, and so I can't, at least I don't think I can. I've been told that I can, but I feel that it's a legal gray area in being able to show that to you guys and use that tool without having a commercial use. Like a lot of issues, but it has been a long time that we've been thinking that maybe it's just going to be dead in the water. Last Thursday, we had a dedicated scalping session all day long, and it worked out okay. I know there's still going to be some kinks to work out, but we're going to give it a go this week. We're going to do a soft rollout Tuesday and Thursday of this week, where we will be scalping all day Tuesday, all day Thursday, and we'll see what we can get of it. So there's some pros and some cons here, and then after we do that, I think with 2 more days under our belts, we should have most of the, knock on wood, we should have most of the bugs worked out, and then we can roll out a formalized standalone scalping program for our existing members. Well, heck, for anybody really that would want to participate in that group. So just a couple of things that I wanted to talk about in this video in terms of what you can expect and what we're looking to do as we roll this out. Some of the questions that I get and some of the answers that I want to give you here, I think, are formulated for people that maybe have not scalped before. If you have scalped, a lot of this is going to be old hat to you. But number one is, what is it? What is scalping? Well, it is a high volume, high frequency trade. I mean, we could very easily do more than 100 of these a day. We could be in and out over 100 times during the day. And it's usually something that you can use very small buying power. We'll get into that in just a second in the topic of what's great about it and maybe what's bad about it as well. But we generally, it's just a very high volume trade. We're looking to only win on about 30 to 50% of our trades. Usually as many as 7 out of 10 trades that we do are losing trades. Talk about that in a minute. That's because that's purposeful, because we're trying to manage risk very tightly. A ton of heavy volume. We trade a lot of volume. We try to take on a very small amount of risk. So scalping is really unlike any other trade. You can take the simplest, quote unquote, safest trade that you can find, and as human beings, we can still figure out how to blow that trade up, right? We can figure out how to lose money into that. But scalping the way I do it, scalping the way that we'll be doing it in this dedicated standalone scalping system, very low risk, very, very low risk. I rarely on a contract, I think Thursday, we went through and last Thursday did a full dedicated scalping day. I was utilizing just about $1,500 was all that I was scalping with. And I don't think at any point we had a risk going on inside the trade of more than about 200. So it's in terms of what we are going to do, this is scalping. It's just high volume, taking small amounts risk, moving in and out of the ES or MES futures contract and trying to grab little tiny moves. You know, the ES is about 50 points for a 1 point move, and so a lot of trades you're looking for a 25 basis point move, and after fees and commissions you're talking about a $10 profit. But at the end of the day, it can add up substantially. We'll look at that in a minute. What's great about it? Well, I love scalping. I love scalping, but it is certainly not for everybody. That is absolutely true. So let's talk about what's great about scalping and what I love. The number one thing I love about scalping is that it is a little bit like playing on a 12-foot tall basket in basketball or playing with ankle weights on, and then you get to the real game and the hoop is 2 feet lower, and you feel like you can jump a million miles in the air because you've removed, of course, the ankle weights, at least hopefully you have. That's kind of what scalping does. Scalping really inherently doesn't have a whole heck of a lot to do with the technical and fundamental analyses that we follow in all of our other trades. But boy, I'll tell you, it will sharpen you. It is like playing basketball with 10-pound ankle bracelets on. Once those are off, it helps you in all of your other trades. So I love scalping from the standpoint that it helps me with all my other trades. It's really just price action. That's all we're looking at is price action, and that's what we're trading off of. It instills a great deal of discipline. You just simply cannot let your losers run. Otherwise, the whole program is done. So it's really good from a risk management standpoint. It helps you understand when to take profits. There's no overnight risk in the trade as well. That's becoming a bigger and bigger deal now as we sit in cash overnight. And, we see today the futures opening up almost 70 points down on the ES as I'm recording this right now. So no overnight risk. A decreased shot at, I guess I should say that you're going to have a fair or a decent shot of making money consistently on these. Some days you're going to put in a whole bunch of work and you're going to get nothing for the fruits of your labors. But one of the things that I like about it is that it is instant gratification. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's instant gratification. Within a couple minutes whether that trade's going to be a good one and you're in and out of it. So you're not sitting on it for a very long time. And then, the other thing that's great about scalping is the more volume, the more volatility we have in the marketplace, the more uncertainty, the crazier and the quote unquote scarier the market gets, the better it is for a scalping environment. And so I think this is probably the scariest market environment we've had in quite some time now, and it is just perfect for scalping. We'll go over our results that we did on our Thursday session here in just a second, but I do love it from that standpoint. What's bad about it? Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that are bad about scalping, and just like we kind of bifurcate the trades that we do inside of our live trading room now, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays dedicated to 0 DTE. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do bonus trades, different strategies on different underlines, sometimes non-equity type underlines, and just all kinds of stuff. And we have people in our trading room that say, you know what, I don't ever tune into what you're doing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That sounds like it's crazy talk to me. I'm here for the 0 DTE trades. That's all I focus on. Got a whole other group of members in our trading room that say, I would never do a 0 DTE. They're too risky. The risk-reward ratio is too bad, and it freaks me out. I'm cutting years off of my life when I do those. All I do is the Tuesday, Thursday trades. I think you're going to find that here as well, that a lot of our members in the trading room, a lot of people that have reached out to me, excited about scalping, are going to do it for a while and go, oh my gosh, I hate this. I hate this. Number one, it's very tedious. It is very, very tedious. You're just pushing buttons and it just gets a little mind numbing at times. Number two, it's time consuming. It is time consuming. You have to, we suggest that you kind of don't get too far away from a computer screen on a 0 DTE trade. Scalping, forget about it. You've got to be glued to your screen. And not everybody has the time or ability to do that. Some people, even if they do have the ability, they just simply don't want to. That's not what they want to spend their time doing, right? And then the other thing is that sometimes, you can wake up on a Tuesday, you can wake up on a Thursday and say, okay, I need to go make $500 today. Let's get scalping. And the market kind of says, well, good for you. We're not going to do anything today. And we just don't have the movement. So it's very, very consuming. On Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays when we do the 0 DTE trading, something's got to be really, really haywire for us to just walk away and say, no, we're not trading that day. Generally, you can take it to the memory banks. You can lock that in and throw away the key in terms of today is Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Will we trade a 0 DTE? The answer is 99.9% of the time, yes, we will. It's not how scalping works. Sometimes you can go 2 weeks where there's just not enough price action to justify scalping. It's just not a good trading environment for scalping. Sometimes you can go 2 weeks every single day. It's an awesome, which is where we're at right now. Scalping right now is my number one favorite thing to do right now in today's market situation. But it can very well be a situation where you go for a long period of time. And for heaven's sake, if you're scalping for a living, it's really tough when you're like, I got bills to pay next week, and I haven't gotten a scalping trade off in 3 days because, the market just isn't moving. So understand that. Who is it for? Who is it probably best suited for? Who is probably best suited to do this? Well, number one, if you've got a job or a lifestyle or something that allows you to be in front of the computer screen all day long anyway, well, then it's perfect, right? Scalping is an absolute perfect opportunity for you to take a look at. If you're looking for daily income, not growth, not a theta trade, not something that we put on and let time do its job. This is income. This is just going out and earning a buck. Scalping is the best opportunity that I know of to try to go do that. If you say, I want to go knock down $500 to $1,000 a day of income, there's all kinds of trades, strategies, underlines, and opportunities that could maybe do that for you. But it depends, right? It depends on if that thing moves in the direction that you want it to. And unfortunately, the market doesn't listen to me very well when I tell it to do certain things. Scalping is awesome from the standpoint that we don't really care. We don't really care what the market does. But it's not a directional play in terms of a delta trade. It's not a normal theta trade. It's just catching little teeny tiny moves here and there. At the end of the day, hopefully it adds up to a decent, tidy sum of money. Okay, that's kind of, again, and if you don't mind trading all day and ending up with nothing at the end of the day, that's who it's for. Sometimes, and again, it can be frustrating when I look at my page and I see that I've done over 100 trades today, scalping trades, and you get nothing for your efforts or your result. But that's just the nature of how scalping works. I do call it my paycheck program because it's what I can kind of in my mind say, I'm going to go get a paycheck today, right? Sometimes that paycheck is zero though. So just to understand that if you got the time and you're willing to punch buttons all day, it might be a good fit for you. How are we going to roll this out? So let me talk about this right now. I'm already running 2 live trading rooms. Well, a live trading room right now, as well as the asset allocation model. We call it the AST program or the asymmetric trading system. There's only one me. And so it's been a little bit hard from a scheduling standpoint to figure out how do we do dedicated scalping where it dovetails with these other programs. Well, that's one of the reasons why we've dedicated Tuesdays and Thursdays to do it, because I will be available. We will not be in the live Zoom session doing a 0 DTE. And so we usually have some time. I usually have some time on my hands. So we're going to target Tuesday and Thursday sessions to do these live scalping sessions. Going to probably roll it out on YouTube Live. It'll be on a YouTube Live feed. And it will have the tick strike information audibly running right alongside with it. It will also have, in addition to my screen, it's going to have an audible sound for, aren't all sounds audible? It'll have a sound every time I do an entry. And my screen will be posted there, and it will show that I'm either long a contract or short a contract. That's designated by whether it has a sign in front of it. If it just is blank, that means it's a long contract. If it has a minus sign in front of it, it means it's short a contract. A W order that will show up on my screen is a take profit level that I've already put in case I want to just sort of autopilot that particular trade. But we're going to roll it out on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. I'm talking to you Sunday evening right now. We're going to roll it out as a dedicated feed. We're going to let anybody have access to the you want. So if you're a member of my YouTube channel, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're part of our live trading. We're going to roll it out for everybody to sort of beta test on Tuesday and Thursday of this week, and just kind of go through with testing it out, making sure there's no bugs involved in it, okay? And then in terms of this, what's expected? This is the last question that I should probably throw up here. What's going to be the expectation out of this? Not a whole lot. At least I hope that it is not a whole lot. And here's why I say that. Again, we're in a magical environment right now for our trading with scalping and 0DTs. This situation isn't going to last forever. The market will calm down at some point. And so right now, I feel fairly comfortable saying, hey, this Tuesday, this Thursday, we're probably going to have some decent opportunities to get in there and scalp. That's not going to always hold. So it's very conceivable in this program. If you're going to sign up for this program, become a dedicated member to the program after this beta rollout this week, very important to understand that, the market will determine whether we scalp on a Tuesday or Thursday, not I. And if we go 2 weeks and there's just no scalping opportunities, then so be it. That's the way it is, right? But we want to trade well. The other thing that I would mention is that there just will be times on Tuesdays and Thursdays where I got to be on an airplane, or I'm driving in a car, or I'm on vacation, or doing something, and I'm just obviously not going to be able to put up my screen. So just be aware of those things as we roll it out. But I think that we've had a lot of interest in scalping. I did want to show you real quickly what our results were from last Thursday's full scalping session that we put in. So here's our results from last Thursday. That was March the 3rd, 110 trades. Now, again, you've got, for every buy, you've got to sell. For every sell, you got to buy. So, maybe it's just half of that. Maybe it's only 55 actual trades, but 110 transactions. A very, very busy day. We've just focused on the MES. You can see that by and large, I was only trading one contract during this whole entire time frame. There's only a few instances in here. You can see, maybe not. I guess no. On this particular day, well, no, that's incorrect. I was going to say all I ever traded was one lots, but I did add. So you can see right there in quick succession, I got up to 4 contracts there. That was the biggest position all day right there, up to 5 contracts, and then quickly exiting a bunch of them there right after that, and then going short right after that. But the point of all of this is, you may look at that and say, there's our commissions and fees. You subtract those out. Let's just say that I made $650, okay, on the day net. That was about with $1,500 of capital is what I used. And then we did a little carryover to the next day, to Friday. We threw a couple more in. Let's see if this will load while I'm trying to work this. Here we go. So now up to maybe $850, adding through a couple more trades on top of that. Now you may say, well, I'm going to try to approach this pragmatically and try to look at it not from an amazing viewpoint, not from a disastrous viewpoint, but just sort of what it is. Number one, we're in a great market environment right now for scalping. I'm going to tell you right now, I would never, ever cement into your mind an expectation that you're going to put up $1,500 and bring in $700 of profit in a single day of trading. It's a above average market environment right now. Number two, I will tell you that, again, it is a busy trading system to keep pushing these buy sell buttons all day long. It's very easy to get to the end of the day and not have any profit showing. We just weren't able to get anything follow through for us, but yet you always are going to get these. You're always going to have your fees and commissions. So it's an expensive way to trade. As we roll this out more formally, I'm going to start talking about more software tools and platforms that I use. Tick Strike is one of them that we'll be integrating into this. Footprint charts is another. And using a broker that is maybe a specialist in this, that is going to cut your commissions way, way down. For this coming week, this Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to still stick with my Tastyworks account because that's where a lot of you guys are at, and it's a familiar screen to you, but we will most likely start moving all of my scalping, my designated scalping days over to a different program, probably NinjaTrader, but something along those lines where it's more discounted in trading. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing, guys. Look for the live feed on YouTube this coming Tuesday. I would love it if you would take the time to throw some comments in there as the day is going. Do it on Thursday as well, and then we'll close it down to the public. We'll open it up to the members only, and we'll see if we can make this thing a consistent thing for us on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I look forward to it, guys. Take care. We'll see you in the live trading room here in about 8 hours. Take care, guys.